junk silver, 90% silver, constitutional silver, whatever you want to call it. Today, we're going to talk about why you should be stacking it. Because today is Silver Sunday.
Check it out.
What is going on, everybody? Silver Scrounger here, and today is Silver Sunday. So, we have some constitutional or junk silver out today to show off and talk about and explain why we might want to be stacking this wonderful, beautiful coinage. But before we get started, if you are enjoying the content, please like, comment, and share. It would help out tremendously. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Who knows, you just might be a winner of my next giveaway. If you haven't been noticing on some of my last videos, once I hit that 50 sub mark, I'm going to be giving away this wonderful 1972 US Mint proof set. And as it stands right now, I'm only 2 away from hitting that mark. So invite your friends and see if we can't make it happen before the end of Silver Sunday. So, why stack constitutional silver? Well, first off, if you didn't know what constitutional silver is, or junk silver, that is any dimes, quarters, and half dollars from 1964 and older. So, got a 1964 half dollar here. That's 90% silver. Going back older to the Franklin's 1957. That's 90% silver. Then you got Walking Liberties. It's a 1920. Then you got all your quarters here, all the dimes, anything from 1964 and older. That's all 90% silver right there, which is junk silver. But there's also war nickels, which are what I have right here. They are from 1942 to 45, and they're 35% silver. The way you can tell for sure is you'll see the mint mark right there above the Monticello building, or Monticello, however you want to pronounce it. So yeah, there's 35% silver in those. And then there's also, I don't have one out, a Kennedy half dollars that are from 1965 to 1970 that are also 40% silver. And there you have it. There's also some other ones that are in there. There's some silver proof sets. There's some Ike dollars that are 40%, and all kinds of things like that. But this is the main bulk of what we're talking about today. The 90% dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Well, one is also it's highly recognized. Generally, not counterfeited or fake. When I say generally, there are some silver dollars that are faked. This is a silver dollar. It is authentic. But there are some that are faked because there are some that are of key dates with key mint marks that are worth a lot more than what the silver content is. So there are some fakes out there. Anyway, constitutional or fake silver. Y'all haven't figured out I hate that word. Or not fake, but junk silver. Sorry about that. It's not fake. It's junk. But it can also be used as fractional silver. instead of going around with the big old 1 ounce rounds or bars or coins like the American Silver Eagles or Maple Leafs or anything like that, you've got fractional silver right here. And it costs a lot less than what the fractional silver that you could get in the 3/9 fine type stuff. But anyway, it's fairly easily purchased as well. It's a lot easier for those who are wanting to get some silver but not ready to drop $28 to $35 for the large $1 or 1 ounce rounds. So since it's easier to purchase, you're wondering how much is junk silver? Well, there's a few different ways to figure that one out. Most common way is to use a way of the multiple of face value, meaning you got $1 and it's going to be say 18 times face value. $1 will be $18 to purchase it. That's right about the going price of what I've seen lately is 18 to 19 times face value. So of course this all applies just for the 90% silver here, not counting the $1, the silver $1. But that's one way to figure it out. So if you have 1 dime that you're looking at buying, a nice normal old 90% silver dime, whether it be a Mercury dime or a Roosevelt dime, it should be at 18 times face value. It's going to be $1.80. Now, there's other ways to figure it out also, but we'll get into that one in a little bit. But if you're trying to figure out how much silver you have, say you already have a certain amount of 90% silver, and you're trying to figure out how many ounces of silver do you have. Well, there's another calculation in there. Basically, for every $1, I'll pull this out, $1.40. That is pretty much 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce of silver right there. So if you're trying to figure it out and you got a certain amount of silver, all you do is you figure out how much all the silver you have is, count it all up, and then you divide that by 1.4 or $1.40. So if I was to do that, I wouldn't calculate any of this down here because this is not 90%. That calculation only works for 90% silver. So I would add up all this that I have here, which by the way is something I already did. It's $42. And I would divide that by $1.40. And that would give me how many troy ounces of silver there is in all of this. We can figure out that one in a little bit when I show you something else. So, if you happen to be one of those people that just heard all that and said, "Ugh, math? Really?" Don't worry. There are other ways to figure it all out with a click or two of a button. And we're going to get into that just now. And we're going to take a look at junksilverbook.com and coinflation.com. So here we are on coinflation.com. It's a pretty good site. It gives you a good bit of information, but we're going to go to the silver coin values, and this, all it's going to do is show you the different coins, like the war nickels I talked about, barber dimes, mercury dimes, all the way through down through the quarters and half dollars and even the silver dollars. and then it'll also show you the silver eagle. Then you come over to the other side and it tells you the face value of them. Pardon me for the scrolling around, but it'll tell you the face value of them and then the silver value of each of them. Now, again, like I said, the silver value is not what you could expect to pay for the coin, or what you may get for it. It may be a little less, maybe a little more for what you get for them, but I can almost guarantee you you're going to be paying more than what the silver value is, because there are these things called premiums. So typically right now I would say it's going to be $1.90 to $2 for a dime, not the $1.74 you see sitting on this page. But anyway, that just gives you a good idea of what the silver content is worth in each of the coins. But we can go over to junksilverbook.com and we will see a little more of what you can do as far as calculating out the value. The basic pre-65 90% junk silver calculator, this one is where if you already have a figure of how much you have altogether, such as what I have, the $42 worth, it'll figure it all out. I have 30 troy ounces of silver sitting on the table right there in just my 90% junk silver. But if you are trying to figure out if you have $21.50, there you go, 15.37 troy ounces. That's one way to do it. There is also the junk silver calculator. This one is where if you're not wanting to add up each and every one of them all together, you can add in, let me see, zoom out here, you can add in how many of each one you have. Say you got 50 mercury dimes and 12 quarters, Washington quarters, maybe 5 of the Barber half dollars, and then 12 Franklin half dollars. Got all that, and it'll figure it all out for you. Tells you how many troy ounces you have and what the value of all that is. So if you're not wanting to count out how much change you have and everything, you want to play around with it or whatever, you can go on here and figure that all out. But again, like I said, that's not what you're going to pay for getting any of those. That's just what the silver value is at the current time. So those were a couple of ways to figure out how much your constitutional silver is worth. But one of the main reasons why I collect it is not because of it being able to be used as fractional silver or anything like that. My main reason why is because I just enjoy it. All the different designs, you know, the Mercury dime is my favorite overall. Very inexpensive, really neat design. I really like the way it looks. And followed by, very closely, by my Walking Liberty half dollars. They're a little more expensive, of course. You know, they're running between $9 and $10 a piece versus $1.90 for the dimes. The quarters, I'm not too much of a fan of, just because they're so much like most of our quarters we have up until they started doing the state quarters and everything. So there's most of the reasons for collecting or stacking constitutional or junk silver. On top of that, it's also going to be very useful in the case of the SHTF scenario, I guess. Not right away, of course. The right away scenario of everything falling apart and craziness ensuing is going to be where you're going to trade goods and services more than anything. If all craziness breaks out and our US dollar is no longer any good, such as in how Venezuela was for a while, they are actually using silver and gold to trade right now because their currency is worthless. So if it gets to that point with us where our currency is worthless for the time being, goods and services are going to be what will be traded amongst each other, such as I have some chickens and you have some vegetables. I'll trade a chicken for some vegetables. That way we both have a really good meal to have and continue on living with. That kind of trading will continue until there's some sort of structure that's rebuilt in the local area, whether it be local government type thing or just some sort of community that's built, and then people will start to trade in precious metals again, and you'll be able to use such as one dime to get, something from a neighbor, a couple of eggs or whatever, and it'll just start working out to where using precious metals will be used as currency again. But anyway, that is going to be long after the whole initial crazy instance of something happening and our dollar goes to complete garbage. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on constitutional silver. So if you can, comment and let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on why we should or should not be collecting or stacking constitutional silver. And I'm going to keep on stacking regardless. So until next time, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Y'all have a great day.